Most fugitives simply set out walking to freedom. At the onset of the Eastern Line, much of the landscape looked the same, making it easy to become lost, or worse, to unknowingly circle back. For obvious reasons, most fugitives traveled at night, navigating as best they could through treacherous terrain and winding waterways. And in truth, many were taught to look for the North Star and to follow the drinking gourd, another name for the constellation Big Dipper. Group travel was discouraged, as it might draw suspicion.
Do you run away with your children knowing that with a child along, your chances of success were greatly diminished? Especially, for example, if they were babies. I mean, how do you tell a baby not to cry?
A strong individual might make as many as 18 exhausting miles in one night before sunup.
Only about 5% actually made it to freedom in the North. They were primarily young males without family attachments.
One of the greatest supporters and station masters along this route was the formidable Quaker abolitionist Thomas Garrett. Thomas Garrett was headquartered in Wilmington, Delaware, the last stop to freedom on the Eastern Line. As a young man, he successfully intervened in the unlawful kidnapping of a free black woman who worked for his family. From that moment on, Garrett committed his life to abolishing slavery. Like abolitionists Nat Turner, John Brown, and Harriet Tubman, Garrett believed he was divinely inspired to mediate in this great injustice.
Garrett had little patience for slaveholders. He had little patience really for anybody who didn't believe in the immediate emancipation of slavery. And this really made him unique, I think, among Quakers, because he had an insatiable integrity when it came to this particular issue. And he took it to the highest levels.
An iron merchant of modest means, Thomas Garrett's home was located 2 strategic blocks from the Wilmington riverfront in an area known as Quaker Hill. Garrett had long assisted fugitives making their way from this last critical stop to a network of Quaker abolitionists in nearby Chester County, Pennsylvania, and beyond. We need to know that Thomas Garrett was totally committed to helping the runaway slaves, that he was emotionally tied into this. It dominated his life. And therefore, when he helped a runaway slave, he had to know that that slave was going to receive the best attention that it could get. And he knew that if he sent it to William Still, that's what was going to happen. Garrett and Still may never have met face to face, but their extraordinary collaboration and ensuing friendship resulted in the safe transport of thousands of fugitive slaves. They supported the heroic work of Harriet Tubman, including the safe rescue of her own mother and father.
Garrett would send a trusted person with the letter often, and would introduce the person who was bringing the letter and would say something like, "This is a trusted friend." Could be an employee of his, could have been a free black man who was regularly helping out. So he would introduce people to William Still.
Dear friend, William Still, since I wrote to thee this morning informing thee of the safe arrival of 8 from Norfolk, another man from lower Delaware arrived since noon. Our friend Harry Craig will take the man, woman, and 2 children from here with him. Thee may take Harry Craig by the hand
as a brother, true to the cause. He is one of our most efficient aides on the railroad, and worthy of full confidence. May they all be favored to get on safely. I hope herself and her children may be enabled to find her husband, who was sold off some years ago, and that the rest of their days be happy together. I am, as ever,
thy friend, Thomas Garrett.